And who is the guy we have in the studio tonight? No other than is our South Asian candidate running for District 28. So let's say good evening to Mr. Japneet Singh. Am I saying it correctly?
Yes, you are.
I don't want to be the one to butcher your name. I know growing up, well, this is a very diverse community. I must say welcome. And as you were talking earlier, you went to schools right in this community. And welcome to Shanaz Musical Sensation. Guys, show him some love. And Mr. Japneet Singh is representing the South Asian candidate for District 28. How many candidates are you running against?
3.
3 candidates, okay. I'm not familiar with the others, so far you got my vote.
Nice, thank you. That means a lot.
And I know our Richmond Hill community, we are just about to co-name Little Guyana because we have Punjab, we have, it's very diverse.
Right.
And we have Punjabi Avenue on 101 Avenue that was codenamed recently. So this is, as I mentioned earlier, is the melting pot. Everyone is here from South Asian community, Guyanese, islands, and seeing that you live right here. I want to say there's a big, you call this a mosque, temple?
Yeah, Gurudwaras,
the Gurdwara.
Mandars,
101 Avenue, and you guys have been doing a fantastic job. All the say it again.
Gurdwara.
Gurdwara. Gurdwara. See?
There you go, you got
it's
it.
It's a learning process, and it's good
100%.
to speak to different folks so you learn more. Hey Sherry Ahmad, good evening to you. Mak Patel from India, good evening to you. Abdul Jabbar, good evening. And I found out he was born in Punjab, the city, right?
Yeah. Punjab is a state, and then the city is Urmurtanda, which is 30 minutes out from Jalandhar. That might be easier.
That's like a main city?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jalandhar Hospital is where I was born, so that's a pretty prominent.
And he's hospital. Coming from the mosque, I believe, right?
Yes.
Okay, we have his campaign manager in the studio also. Good evening, and hopefully she's doing a good job introducing you to all our Guyanese businessmen, our business community. Shivani, good evening to each and every one of you. And yes, we are about bridging the gap when it comes to our community. Our parks are all Guyanese, Trinidadians, Punjabis, Bangladeshi. This is our community, and we're always promoting love, diversity, and unity. And you are running for District 28, and what's your mission? What are you looking to accomplish?
First and foremost, to all the listeners that are Muslim, Eid Mubarak to all of you. I know the holy month of Ramadan is amazing, and just being a part of so much love and just peace and bliss. It was amazing just to take part of it so actively this past Ramadan. I've always done iftars and Eid celebrations, but this year, I felt like I was so engaged with the community, and it felt truly amazing. But one of our biggest things that we want to accomplish through this campaign, and if hopefully with God's grace we get elected, is to bring our communities together. There's so much rich culture that all our communities share, but at the same time we're so divided. And I've been living here since I was 8 years old. Now I'm 26, so pretty much
the young generation, and I must say, young generation, knowing what our community need. And I must say, we love Punjab and their culture and everything because we watch all the new movies. Who's my favorite singer right now? Who's your favorite singer? I'll tell you.
Mine.
I'll tell you mine's later. His name just doesn't come to mind. But we have so much in common that we need to show love to each other. Love and support. Hey Steve, good evening to you. Abid Hussain, how are you doing? Thank you, Champalal. Thank you guys very much. Sherry, thank you. If you guys have any question or you want to know what his plans are, like we were talking earlier about, he asked me what do I like about this community and what I don't like. What I don't like right now, I like the fact that we have unity, we have love. The safety is one of my issue.
Right.
I feel unsafe in this area at times, and if we could look into that would be great.
Right. Safety is a big thing that we're concerned with as well. We have a lot of families that live here, a lot of youth, and I think one thing we need to also take from is that we need to be open to the community. What the community needs is what the government their purpose should be to serve the community. And oftentimes so far in this district especially, we're so underserved that the government doesn't even know what the issues of South Richmond Hill, South Ocean Park are, because they're never here. And that's why even the naming a Liberty Avenue now to Little Guyana, I love it, but this should have been done. Punjab way should have been done. But now it's election season. 1 month before elections, it's so coincidental that this is when the timing of it is,
we
right?
get things done.
Yeah, so I think we need to be very aware and cognizant of what these politicians do and when they do it. Because if you look at the funding and where the funding goes, it's not here. So there's 3 main areas in this district: South Jamaica, South Ozone Park, and South Richmond Hill. So most of the funding is in South Jamaica. And not that I'm saying, you know, it shouldn't be there, but it should be that 2/3 of the district shouldn't feel left out. And that's what we've been
You would say equally distributed.
100%.
Equally distributed. And what do you see our funding needing in our community? What would you use some of our funding for?
Right. So my biggest thing is community centers. I think our youth, our elders do not have anywhere where they can gather safely and do extracurriculars, or the elderlies have services that can brush up their, you know, Microsoft skills, or, you know, these little soft skills for jobs. And I remember when I was a kid, my mom used to take Excel classes right here in 226. They don't have that no more.
Wow.
You know, they don't have that no more. And I think there's so many things we can bring to this community if there's a community center. Second, just more recycling bins and just clean streets.
That was my second concern to him. See, he's reading my mind. That's my second concern when it comes to this area.
Right.
We see garbage bins, but we're trying to promote recycling, and you can't recycle if you're going to put everything in one bin. You need, the green bins are for recycle, right?
Right, green, blue, all of them. And lastly, I think education is a big thing. I went to John Adams High School, middle school, 226, PS 100. And if you look at MS 226 right now, it's been having construction for the last couple of years. If you look at John Adams High School, I graduated in 2012 and they put a scaffolding up. It's still there.
It's still there. I pass there all the time. Yeah. So we need progress, and we need things to be happening in this community, not just to start something and leave it there halfway, you know. Abid, thank you very much. Good evening, Sandra Dawes. Good evening to Steve. How you guys are doing? Thank you, thank you. We are talking with the handsome Mr. Japneet Singh, who's representing the South Asian community when it comes to District 28. And we're talking about safety, like, you know, he asked me what do I feel like we need improvement in our community, and I think you guys missed that because I said safety. That's my number one, and that's also on your mission, that, you know, security is important in our neighborhood. Keeping it safe, it keeps the crime rate down. Also, I mentioned that our community is quite, you know, we as humans have to keep up appearances, and keep up appearances not just mean look good on the outside. We have to keep our community clean. We need trash bins outside, we need recycle bins outside, and we're trying to go green. Going green means more of recycling, and he's, you know, urging us to stop the littering, as he's going to campaign with getting a cleaner community. And how are you planning getting a cleaner community?
So the main thing is, again, the trash cans, that if the city could have color-coded bins where you can recycle, why can't we have it here, right?
Right.
Community cleanups where all community members are obligated, not obligated, but, like, you know, feel involved, feel welcome, that they come out and join. Those are huge, right? Like, you know, like, for example, the Punjabi community, the West Indian community, the black community come together and do one, like, every month. That's a huge precedent. And once the community sees, like, wow, like, the community leadership really wants these streets clean, they'll follow suit. Right, and it's something little as, like, even when I see someone that is throwing a bottle outside their car, if they see a trash can right on every corner, it's much more easier to be, okay, let me just be, you know, a polite neighbor and go throw it in the trash can, as opposed to littering on the streets that I live at.
Right, let's keep our community cleaner and safer. That's what we're echoing for today in our community. And as we're talking, in Punjab, they celebrate Holi. You celebrate everything we celebrate in Guyana and the Caribbean, right? But they do it on a larger scale. What can I say? So it's about time we bridge that gap when it comes to Guyanese and our community. As we said earlier, Queens is our melting pot. We have Bangladeshi, we have all folks from all walk of life, especially Guyanese, Trinidad, and the Caribbean folks. Punjab, he is born in Punjab, but he was raised here. He went to the schools that I passed every day in Richmond Hill, that is John Adams.
Right. MS 226, PS 100. And one thing I want to add is that, so for example, if anybody goes to a mandir or a mosque or a gurdwara, Gurdwara. You got it.
Am I getting there?
We'll get you there. We'll get you there throughout this campaign. But one thing that a lot of our community members don't know, because we don't know, is that there's government grants, there's government funding that can come from the government to these houses of worship, and those grants and money could be used to serve the youth, the elderly. Like, we were one of the last neighborhoods to get vaccines here. Why is that? We have so many community hubs, but none of them were used as vaccine centers. One of the gurdwaras was, but we have another one. We have mandars. We have so many mandars. We have so many mosques, but those are eligible for government grants. But until we don't know about these resources, like, there's a lot of churches that get free meals that they distribute to the community. Right. We don't know about these programs. We haven't even gotten ourselves to the point where we're eligible for them. So that's one thing I will work hand in hand with all community leadership, so we can get this government funding that's supposed to be coming here, that we just don't get. So we can better serve all our communities that live here.
There's one Gurdwara on 101 Avenue that's always, there's a lot of love and unity, and I could see their community work. It's always full with food pantry going on. So many things happen in there. So again, we need to get it out there so more folks can come and get this help that is available. And what are some of the things that you're looking for to improve in our community? District 28. He's running for South Asian. He's a South Asian candidate for District 28. That consists of what areas?
So we have South Ocean Park, South Richmond Hill, South Jamaica, and Rochdale Village.
And he's running he got 3 opponents, am I right?
2 opponents.
2 more opponents,
including myself, third, yeah.
Okay, well you got my vote so far, because I'm not sure who the other candidates are. And it's important when you're running for any city job, because you have to be out there doing the work and being the voice and echoing. And I want to say big up to his campaign manager, beautiful Guyanese. Yes, he got the Guyanese community back. The beautiful Shivani, good evening. And his campaign manager, she believes in you, and she look at the gap that we have, and she wants, I must say, he representing the young generation, not the older generation, the younger generation, where, you went to school, as you said earlier, the language we speak in Queens, and the college you went to. How many languages we talk about?
Just Queens College has over 117 languages spoken. Queens has over 300. So that's a lot of different people. Just in Queens, we're like the world's borough, as they call it. And I think it's very, very important that our communities have a seat on the table. We do not have any Indo-Caribbean on the table. We do not have any South Asian on the table. So it's time that we get one of us in, so we can teach the rest. Because we have a lot of lawyers, we have a lot of doctors, we have a lot of entrepreneurs. But now it's time we enter the realm of politics, and that's when we can be like, okay, we have equal representation.
That's right. Abid Hussain, thank you very much. Yes, John Namat Fawaka to you. Big up to Suriname. Big up to each and every one of you locked on to Shanaz Musical Sensation. We're going to talk more, but we want some questions coming out. I know Auntie Nalini is very often in our community. She's at all the events, and I know she's well known in our community. So guys, keep those questions coming. If you have a concern, I'm sure he'll read a comment out loud. So thank you. Well, good evening, and happy Thursday evening to each and every one of you. If you're just joining us, we are talking with our South Asian candidate, Mr. Japneet Singh, who is representing us today. He was born in Punjab, but living in Queens, Richmond Hill, I must say, since he was 8 years old. My handsome brother in Toronto, good evening to you, Mr. Tyrone Madramutu. Abid Hussain, good evening to you. Auntie Nalini Naidu, thank you. Share the link, share the love. And yes, Mr. Japneet Singh, we have a lot of Singhs in Guyana.
100%.
A lot of Singhs in Guyana. Do you have how is Punjab? Is very diverse as Queens? You find it homely in Queens?
Yeah, I mean, so I've gone there quite a bit, and yeah, Punjab, Indian as a whole is home to so many different religions, so many different people, Muslims, Hindus,
Sikhs,
Christians, Buddhists.
Wow.
So it has the second largest population in the whole world. So yeah, there's a lot of diversity there.
What do you like more about? Hey, the beautiful Sonia Nazir Thompson. I have a song coming up with your song, I must say. Hey, the beautiful Angela Moti. Good evening to you. I do have a performance coming up by Angela Moti. Keep it locked. Thank you for joining us on Shanaz Musical Sensation. What do you love more about our community and the Guyanese? Living among our Guyanese and West Indian Caribbean folks. What do you love about them? Or
I think the passion and just the love for community. I remember growing up right here on 115, there used to be block parties, right? And the Guyanese people used to
love block parties.
Because the Guyanese people used to always be the DJs or just host them. and I used to always sneak out of my own block just to join that one because I'm like, that's
the poppin' block.
That's the poppin' block, so I have to join in.
And Shivani's supposed to be looking for a Punjabi song for us. She's supposed to be finding one of your Punjabi songs so we could play for you guys. So Shivani is his manager, his campaign manager. She is representing Guyana. She found, she said there is a passion and there has to be unity in our community. That's what we're all hoping for by building and bridging that gap when it comes to our South Asian candidate. He is representing our South Asian candidate for District 28. And as we mentioned earlier, hey, Ramadan Mubarak, Eid Mubarak, Eid Mubarak to each and every one of you. Sandra Das, thank you very much. As we said earlier, you want this community to live in love and unity, and you're looking to bring improvement when it comes to sanitation and safety. S&S, safety and sanitation, a little improvement. And he does love our culture. You've seen our Diwali parade put together by the famous Lakshmi Singh. Lakshmi, thank you.
Good friend of ours, good friend.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for the beautiful person and the interview. You've seen it put together by the beautiful Lakshmi Singh. What's your thought on that, going up in Richmond Hill?
Right. I think that's a very big historic step for our communities. The Punjabi community also celebrates Diwali, so I think next year, hopefully, if elected, we make it bigger and better. And
if elected, or if he doesn't elect, he's still gonna participate in it because you've been here for so long and seeing. I'm gonna make sure Shivani, remind him to come again. Let's do some work together. Make a bigger festival because music brings folks together. Nothing brings people together more than music and food.
Right. The best of two worlds. That's the best combination.
So, I love Punjabi food. What's your favorite Guyanese food?
I would say doubles, to be honest. Like
at Trinidad, you see, he's going for the doubles because
Singh's roti shop. That's where I had my first doubles, and I go there at least like every other week just to grab some.
Doubles, guys. I love doubles too. That's my go-to fast food and I'm on the run, you know.
Right, 100%.
And Shivani, what's your favorite Punjabi food? You have his dish before.
Anything with paneer.
Paneer. How about palak paneer? Is
that's
palak paneer?
Yeah.
Hers is her favorite is karahi paneer.
Karahi paneer.
She loves that.
Your food is much more tasty than ours. I mean, you guys
you
add a lot of spices in the food. We add a lot of love, but the love, we still need more spices. So you could see us in the restaurants, in the Punjabi and the Indian restaurants as much. But I can't, for someone to leave Punjab and come to one of our restaurant, as much as I don't see a lot of Punjabis in our Caribbean restaurant, it's not as spicy.
Right.
It's a different taste, but I would go for the spicy food. As much as I love Guyanese food, I would go for the spicy food.
Right.
So I love Punjabi food. I love Indian food.
We'll bring you some Indian food next time. Punjabi food.
I must say thank you to Samosa Bites. I call them and order lamb kebab and biryani because it was Nurses Week and they throw in a box of samosa because they say, hey, you didn't order from us in a long time. I said it's Nurses Week and they throw in samosas,
Nice.
And I work with doctors from India, Africa, Greece, so they love our food. They love West Indian food, and now they're gone from West Indian to all the spicy food. Imagine going from Guyanese food, which is mild, and they're having spicy food. So it's good to learn about different cultures.
That's a big transition there.
It is a big transition. One of our doctors at first, he's from Greece, so he got red when he had tandoori chicken. He was like,
I can imagine that. Oh man.
So it's a big transition. Hey Rohan Naidu, good night to you. The beautiful Auntie Jean Bajan, Auntie Nalini Naidu, thank you. And Ramadan Mubarak to the entire Muslim community. Yes, Auntie Jean of Canada, Riyadh, good night to you. What would you like to urge? I know when it comes to election, election is June 22nd.
Yep.
This is a big election.
I think this is going to be the most important election of our lifetimes.
Well, guys, you heard it. This is the third candidate I have so far for the last month who's saying June 22nd is a major election. It's a big election. And they're all urging you to get out there and vote. 100%. Get out there and vote. It's easy. The locations are where you're registered, right? You could check the zip code, type it in, and they will tell you where you're registered to vote. Go out there. You will see his name on the ballot alongside two other candidates who I'm not sure who they are, but I'm sure who you are. And you also be doing the door-to-door.
Yes.
And he's looking on food hampers for our community. And if you think there's a need for something, please reach out to him or myself or Shivani, his campaign manager, and we'll see to improve that or how to make it better. Hey, the beautiful girly Persaud from the Sunshine State. Good evening to you, Shivani Singh and Shanti Singh. How you guys are doing? Thank you. Eid Mubarak to each and every one of you. Today is a big celebration. It's like, you celebrate Eid in Punjab, but you left Punjab when you were quite young.
I was 1 year old when I left.
Oh, wow, he was a baby. So going back to Punjab, actually you probably spend more Eid in Queens, in New York, than that you remember. So Eid is very big. It's like our Christmas,
Yeah.
So I hope everybody who fasts and pray, your wishes come through. Allah's give you choicest blessing. Padma Singh, good evening to you. And what we love about Guyana and the Caribbean is that we celebrate Eid, we celebrate Pagwa, we celebrate Diwali, we celebrate everything because we have the love and the unity. You can never find two persons fighting 100%. When it comes to religion in Guyana.
Right.
We would have a Muslim prayer and my Hindu friends will be the first one in there.
Wow.
To show the love and support. And then you'll have a Hindu function and the Muslims will be in full hijab and they will be there supporting.
Right.
Because what we do, we don't try to convince others
100%.
to be. That's your belief.
100%.
Don't try to wipe off who you are on others. Let them be.
Right. I think when you allow someone to be comfortable in their own skin, there's a power in that. Even in Punjab, like in the morning, there'll be on loudspeaker, there'll be the Sikh prayer, then there'll be the Muslim prayer, then the Hindu prayer, and the Christian prayer, right? So in sync, and everybody respects that, right? And I think the same thing here. I actually got my introduction to the Muslim community when I was very, very young. Obviously, I grew up with them, but when I was in Queens College, I was a student body president there, and I had a chance of hosting so many iftars. I organized some with the Muslim Student Association.
Wow, that is nice.
We literally shut down the entire campus for when it was Eid and had like an Eid celebration for it. And this is 20,000 students we're talking about. So we had it for the whole campus where
he's a team player. He knows how 100%. To get things done, right?
And we had Shah's halal food, which is what we were serving. So made sure it's halal, and we're doing it throughout Ramadan. We did I think 3 or 4 iftars, and then we did an Eid celebration. So.
Wow, beautiful. Parvati Prabhu, good evening to you, the beautiful girlie. Singh, good evening. And I have to have your campaign manager before we leave just to say a few words because she's standing strongly behind you. 100%. And any last words you have for our voters out there? It's June 22nd. June 22nd, get out there and vote. There's an early election, I believe.
Yeah, so you can start voting on June 12th. That's when early voting starts. You can actually vote right now too. So there's absentee ballots. So say that you don't feel safe to go to the ballot or you won't be in the city. You can request the absentee ballot to come to your house. So this is super easy. You can do it online. You can reach out to our campaign office as well, which is on 119-22 94th Avenue. So anybody who would like to volunteer or would just want more information on this election, please feel free to come anytime from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. anytime. So.
And you will have, thank you, we'll have Shivani, his campaign manager, say a few words and she'll put in some more information later in the chat so you guys can reach out to her and ask her how to vote or what can you do to contribute to his campaign. So many things we could do. So thank you, Mr. Japneet Singh, and I hope to have you again in the studio. Wish you all the luck, and I always urge my viewers to go out there and vote. That's your civic duty. Go out there and vote. You don't have to vote for anyone that I believe in, but as the practice, and that's your First Amendment, go out there and vote. So thank you very much for coming by. I wish you success.
Thank you.
And the next Diwali parade that Lakshmi throws on Liberty Avenue, we have to see you there. We have to make it bigger and better. We'll 100%. Have the entire Punjab community out there.
You got my word. The Punjabi community will be there in numbers, 100%.
That's right. Yeah. So thank you to the beautiful Lakshmi Singh, Sonia Nazir. Thank you very much, Padmi Singh, and Shukran, Mr. Abid. Thank you for watching us. So we will hear from the beautiful. Describe her a little bit for us, the campaign manager.
So the campaign manager's job, right, is basically to hold down the campaign, organize everything going on, organize things like this. But Shivani is, before a campaign manager, she's a friend, and I've gotten to know her as a friend. So for her to take this role, this is not what we talked about when we originally asked her to join the campaign, but she's quickly shown that she really believes in public service and she wants the community to unite. And she's one of the most pure-hearted people I've ever met in my life. And I met a lot of people, but none like Shivani.
She make things happen.
I want to give a shout out to her mother too, Sandra, if she's watching, because she's amazing as well. And I credit Sandra for doing everything she did and raising her
beautiful upbringing.
100%.
Thank you. So let's hear from his campaign manager, who is a Guyanese living in Queens, Richmond Hill, Little Guyana, and she is standing strong behind her candidate. And to stand strong, you have to know him very well. You have to know his beliefs and what he stands for. And congratulations to you. So thank you for joining us and bringing me this wonderful candidate today.
Thank you so much for having us. It's such a pleasure to be here. And thank you, Lakshmi, for this. I firstly want to say I've known Japneet for a while, and he said a lot, so we both have this passion for public service. So we really want to bridge our communities together. We've been going to every mandir, every mosque, every church, so we really want to bridge everybody together. And I think it's really possible. And he has it in him to unite this community. So I hope you all come out and vote June 22nd. If you have any questions, I'll send all the info to Shanaz, and then we'll put it in the chat.
She'll also put it in the chat box so you guys could see it, and I'll post his flyer up there. So go out there. He's also looking to do some great work and with our community. Food pantry. If you know someone in need, just reach out to her, and she will try to get some things organized and delivered probably to you guys.
Yes, thank you so much. We definitely will be doing that. And we hope to have your support and collaboration.
Definitely, yes. Always, especially when it comes to getting our community together. And the biggest fete, of course, we're down for that. Unity, music, food.
Exactly.
Let's celebrate.
Music and food.
This pandemic, really opened up our eyes a little bit and show us how we should appreciate each other a little bit more. The diversity, that's what makes us all so unique. We're all beautiful in our own way.
Exactly.
And we all have so much to contribute.
Exactly. So that's what we want to, push this campaign forward with.
And as he said, he's the brown guy running in this community because he's living among us for so long. He's a youngster also, I want to say, from the younger generation. So, before you might not see the love, but it takes a young person to say this is a time and a place to make things happen. Let's bridge this gap within our Caribbean folks and the Punjabi because we love them so much. We love Indian music, Indian food, everything Indian. We want that, to go both ways.
Exactly. What I want to point out is he is the brown candidate, but he will represent everybody.
That's right. So guys, thank you for locking on to Shanaz Musical Sensation. That is a beautiful Shivani, his campaign manager. And I'll put up the flyer later. You guys can see it. Check it out on my Facebook wall. Amit, thank you. Sonia Nazir, thank you very much. Padma Singh, love is in the air. That is all of my love for each and every one of you. You're watching Shanaz Musical Sensation on the famous John from Queens YouTube channel. Continue supporting our #1 YouTuber, John from Queens. I'm yours truly, Shanaz Hussain.